think the majority, if not all of them, were good. And he's an aggressive scorer. He's a shot maker, and he's got a lot of freedom and a lot of green light to go out and make plays. So, I think it's great for the rest of the guys to step up. Book's been great, I think he did a lot of other things to help us tonight. So, but he's got the green light to be aggressive always.
Coach Budenholzer, after last night's Suns win over the 76ers on a night in which Devin Booker went 3 for 18 from the floor. Yeah.
I actually went back through the time machine called like the game log. I went back through the game log time machine.
The sound of the time machine. It makes that sound.
I tried to be like, okay, when did Booker shoot this poorly? Like, when was the last time he shot this badly? 3 of 18 from the field. He that's like an 11 was 11% or something.
16%. 16.7%.
I'm like, all right, let me look at this. So I go back and I'm looking. He shot 1 of 11 against the Clippers last year. That was 9.1%. So last night was not his worst. He had 1 game last year. He shot 1 for 11 against the Clippers. He was 2 for 12 against Toronto last November, 16.7%. I think that's exactly the same as what he shot last night. Mm-hmm. I went back the year before. I looked at 22-23. Nothing was that bad. Nothing. He had a 3 for 15 versus Denver in 21-22. That was 20%. But I didn't want to go back any further because I just didn't have time and I didn't want to.
I was done. I'm bored with this.
I just wanted to see, how often does this? It doesn't happen often. Like I said, last year he had a game against the Clippers, 1 for 11. He had a game against Toronto, 2 for 12. The year before, nothing that bad, the whole year. And then you go back to 21-22. He had a 3 for 15 against Denver, which is 20% shooting overall. It was just a really bad shooting night. He kept shooting. And
I'm glad. I'm glad he kept shooting.
Right, he didn't stop shooting. He kept shooting.
I'm glad he kept shooting. He's too good at it not to keep shooting. I from my couch at home, I was encouraging him to continue shooting. Fortunately, and this will not be the first time I'll say this year, we've got Kellen Olssons to do our homework for us. He's kind of like your who is the
Gina Fakara.
Gina Fakara.
How do we ever forget Gina Fakara?
I don't know how I always forget Gina Fakara's name.
I'm probably not even here without Gina Fakara.
She's the one who did your homework for you for the better part of your entire educational experience.
I cheated off her on every quiz and test.
That's right. She didn't do homework for you.
No.
You just looked over her shoulder.
She would give me the answers, and the great thing about it is she wasn't very smart either. So,
it wasn't like I was cheating.
It wasn't like, hey, how did John Gambadoro, you just got a 97 on that test. Like that wasn't happening.
I'm looking over Kellen Olssons' shoulder right now in Suns class, and I'm looking at his homework, and it says here that effort last night from Devin Booker tied for the worst field goal percentage of his career in games in which he's taken at least 15 shots.
Tied for the worst.
So if 15 shots is the cutoff, and I understand it's not always is. The last time he was this bad was in March of 2018. But to your point, it's funny.
1 for 11 last year against the Clippers. If you go a little bit less on the shots.
If you go a little bit less on the shots, I always feel like maybe not to this level, maybe not to like 16.7%. I always feel like Devin Booker is good for about 3 or 4 or 5
clunkers
like this. Yes, maybe not 16.7% clunker, but a clunker. I mean, just a game where he's 5 of 22, he's 6 of 23. There's no threshold for it. I did the same thing you did. I went back like 3 or 4 years, and I ranged his season by shooting percentage. And I took a screenshot of like the 4 worst games he's had every year and most of them kind of look like this, maybe not as bad. This is Devin Booker. This is part of the Devin Booker experience. This is going to happen 3, 4, maybe 5 times a year where he has a game like this. I feel like
it happens to Durant. It happens to everyone. Like Kevin Durant has bad games.
I could probably go take any elite shooter in the NBA, and I'm going to find they're going to do the same thing.
It never happened to Bernard King. But for most other players, it's happened to.
Your affection for Bernard King continues to be a
Bernard King was never that.
But aren't you glad he kept shooting? I was glad. Shoot through it. Keep going. You're Devin Booker. You're don't let this bother you. Don't let this affect you.
All it takes is one to go in, and all of a sudden, like that, it might be over for him. Yeah, he's one of the best players in the NBA. I mean, how would you? I can't imagine like, hey, don't shoot the ball. It's not your night. I mean, he'll know. I mean. There were times during that game where he deferred. You go look at the end of the game, like he was on the court. He wasn't shooting. He took a shot. He had a turnover after he missed a 3-pointer. I don't know that he took another shot after that. That was with about a little bit over 2 minutes left in the game.
I think that was his last shot of the night. Yeah,
he missed a 3-pointer, and then right after he missed it, he actually got the ball back and turned it over.
Yeah.
So he shot it, it came back, he turned it over. I don't think he shot after that.
But that's also him being smart. Kevin Durant is on a heater right now. Give it to him. I don't need to be shooting. He needs to be shooting. And I would assume it would be reciprocal on a night when Devin Booker is on a heater and Kevin Durant, hey, I'm giving it to you, Book. You go. You're hot. You're carrying us right now. And that's
unselfish, and that's how they have those type of players.
It's the benefit of having two of those guys on the roster like that. It really now sometimes when they're both hot, trying to figure out who gets the touches and who gets the shots, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They weren't going to go Paul George last night.
No, wave it.
Tyrese Maxey, but wait, I've got like 35. I'm hitting everything.
I mean, that's what's funny is that kind of what happened.
I'm going to be the unselfish guy. I'm going to be the selfish guy and take this shot at the end of the game.
That's kind of what happened at the end of the game. It was like as if Devin Booker were waving off Kevin
Durant.
No, I got it. I'm 3 of 18, but I got it.
Right, exactly.
Go away, Tyrese. I know you got 32.
Katie, just clear out. Clear out
for me.
Clear out. I'm going to take this.
I'm Devin Armani Booker, and I'm going to take this shot. I mean, come on. He wouldn't do that. He spoke today about flushing this game out.
I mean, you just flush it, to be honest. Thankfully it came in a win. So that's what the game's about. But, obviously frustrated. Just missing shots I feel I can make.
Yeah, and he said he felt like he was getting good looks. He just couldn't really find his rhythm.
I mean, everything's new. But, you can't blame it on that. The previous night I had 40 and something else. So, we're playing different minutes than we usually have in the past, but it's been successful. So, it's open communication throughout the whole team. I just, need to make shots.
It is funny that he mentioned that, though, because with a new coach, it feels like for the first time since before Monty, and I don't know if you feel the same way about this, getting used to when Devin Booker is on and off the floor. I feel like for the last half decade, we knew exactly when Devin Booker was going to be on and off the floor. We had, you talk about rotations and keeping track of rotations.
Yeah.
We knew Devin Booker's rotation to a T.
Yeah.
He was going to play the entire first. He was going to sit out the first 6 of the second, play the last half of the second quarter. He was going to play almost the entire third.
And then come in depending on what the score was at the 10, 9, 8-minute mark.
You know what I'm talking about,
oh,
right?
100%.
Depending on game situation is when he was going to come back in the fourth. You're the guy who keeps track
I love
of
the
this
rotations.
Stuff, right? This is your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
This is your moment. Now, under Coach Bud, honestly, I don't know when he's coming. I haven't figured out the pattern. I feel like, remember the movie The Rock? When Sean Connery's trying to break back.
Great movie.
When he's trying to break back into Alcatraz.
Yeah.
And he's got to remember the pattern of the flames coming through the floor.
Yeah.
And he's like, I memorized this once 40 years ago, but I feel like I'm that with Devin Booker's rotation now. I'm trying to, when does he come in now? And at what minute? And at what time?
He started the fourth last night.
Yeah.
He never
started the fourth.
No Beal, no Durant. It was Allen, Tyus Jones, Mason Plumlee, Booker, and Ryan Dunn to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It didn't last very long.
No.
Because they went on a quick little run there, and all of a sudden KD's in, and then Beal's in, and then Nurk's back in, and it didn't last very long, but that's how they started it.
Yeah, I am not used to it at all. It definitely takes some getting used to try to figure out what he's doing.
Thanks for watching Burns Gambo. Click to see more from the guys, and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.